What's up, my YouTube family? Welcome back to the Gaming Brigade. And as we roll into the weekend, my friends, I wanted to address something that a lot of you have been reaching out to the channel about. As most of you know, last week's global event happened to have ended about 8 hours early. Now, a lot of you reached out saying you lost a bunch of stars, you were trying to complete the leagues. Now, the game did address the situation. They did give us an update, so today I wanted to go over some of those details. Now, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well, and remember, we are currently having a giveaway for a PlayStation 5. All you need to do to enter is either subscribe here or follow on Twitter, and the winner will be announced on October 2nd of this year. So for me, I became aware of this on Monday the 11th at about 5 p.m. Pacific. I'm in California, so that's my time zone. And what happened was, earlier in the day, I'd put out my typical news video, and I had mentioned the fact that today was the last day for you to spend those stars that you earned or complete any league events that you hadn't completed as yet, because I know where I live on a weekly basis. I know that I have all day Monday, so until midnight Monday night or 12 a.m. Tuesday morning, it's the exact same thing. I have all that time to play the game and catch up on, my league if I need to, or make sure I spend all my global event stars, things like that. And what happened was, it was Monday, just past 5, and I was getting messages saying both those events had already been shut down. Now, the game did address the issue the next day, and they said the following: Shade Exposed global event finished 8 hours earlier than usual. The upcoming Xander League events may also be affected, so we encourage you to plan ahead to get your Season 9 global event rewards cashed a day early so you don't miss out on any stars. And one thing I want to mention really quick is that the timer in-game that showed you when the event was ending was 100% accurate. So if I had actually paid attention to how many hours were left when I recorded the video, I could have easily done the math and realized, you know what, that's not midnight, that's 5 p.m. my time. But the thing is, when it comes to the weekly maintenance, I'm on autopilot because it happens the same time every week, so I have no reason to believe it would have been earlier. Now, the other thing that happened was the manhunt target, the final manhunt target, became available. And look, I loved how this season ends. I'm not going to give away any spoilers, things like that, but it was really, really enjoyable. So I was excited that the manhunt target became available early. I was jumping on to play, but that's when I started getting messages from other players. You were saying you logged in to either finish your league activities or to, spend your global event stars, and you realize everything had already ended early. Now, we will go into some details in regards to that in a minute. However, I want to take a quick moment and go over the information the game gave us in regards to future global events and leagues to ensure that this issue that happened does not happen to us again. Now, at the time this footage was recorded, which was yesterday, you can see that the Xander League begins in 4 days and 1 hour, and the Hollywood Global event begins in 1 week and 4 days. And I cannot stress this enough, my friends. Make sure you keep track of these timers because they have been very accurate so far. Now, you can see here the game did give us a breakdown of what we can expect, or what we may be able to expect with the next league and global event. So at the top they say, and we've already gone over this, but the Shade Exposed global event finished 8 hours earlier than usual, and this may also affect upcoming Xander League events, so be prepared for the earlier finishing times by checking below. So I'm going to focus on Pacific time because that's where I am, and again, it's going to affect you differently depending on where you are. But you can see with the Xander League, and remember, that goes on for 2 weeks, that is scheduled to end in my time zone on Monday, August 1st at 5 p.m. Pacific. And as we make our way to the Hollywood Global event, that is actually scheduled to end the day before on Sunday, July 31st at 5 p.m. Pacific. So I have one event ending on a Sunday, one event ending on a Monday. And like I said a moment ago, make sure you pay attention to the in-game timer for each event individually, because from the looks of this, you're going to have one event end on one day, one event end on another, and you don't want to lose out on, certain things you're trying to get in the league, or lose out on any stars. So again, make sure you pay attention to those details. So now that we've gone over the next global event, the next league, and what we can expect, I now want to answer a few of the questions you sent the channel. And one of them was, is this going to be the new normal moving forward in regards to timing? And from what I can put together, and this is based on some information the game tweeted and whatnot, that this was not an intentional thing. This was not supposed to happen. However, they have identified the issue, but it needs to be implemented via a patch, and the team that does that is not in the, in the office right now. We all know, and they made it clear a few weeks ago, that the next few weeks were going to be pretty slow. However, once the team gets back and they implement the next patch, things should be back to the way they were. And keep in mind, I'm basing that on the fact that they only talked about the next 2 events that are coming up in the season, not the rest of the season itself. But again, my friends, as soon as I have any more information or details, I'll pass it along. Now, the next thing I want to go over really quick is for those of you that lost stars in the last global event, and I know that affected a lot of players, and it brought up a few conversations, one of which was, why are people actually saving all their stars and not spending them? Well, they're doing that for a specific reason. So typically, if you're saving stars, you're obviously using them to buy caches. And not only that, during that time that you are farming for stars, you're obviously getting more gear as well. So I know a lot of players that like to farm, they like to see what they actually pick up, and then they determine how they want to spend those stars in regards to what type of caches they want to buy. Which now brings me to the topic of compensation, and for those of you that did lose stars, are you going to get any back? I know people that have lost 10. I heard from someone who lost over 300, and again, they like to save. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, people want to play the way they play, and that's great, and that should never change. But obviously, the timer thing threw a lot of people off. Now, the game has said that before they can communicate a potential compensation or even rerun the actual, league itself, or excuse me, the global event, they need to thoroughly check the logs and identify the number of affected players. And unfortunately, once again, the people in that department are away. They will be back in the next week. We're going to have something like that. So as soon as they have those answers, they will definitely pass them along. And as I start to wrap this video up, do me a favor, my friends, and let me know if you were affected by this taking place. I mentioned at the beginning of this thing, I just couldn't complete the league and get the keychain for the bag or the backpack trophy, you know what I mean. But I have a feeling that hopefully it will be put back into the game at one time and I'll be able to pick it up. However, for those of you that did lose stars, I know that's frustrating, so let me know what's going on in your gameplay down below. And as always, as soon as I have any more, info, anything to pass along in regards to compensation, things like that, I will let you know, my friends. And actually, in regards to info, I just checked the Division's Twitter account as I was wrapping this video up, and you can see they just made an announcement in regards to the next Apparel event, and they say the following: get ready for the Street Activation Apparel event coming August 8th. Those cool streetwear outfits you've been eyeing up will be available for your collection. And I know for a lot of us out there, we were really bummed when this thing got delayed. I'm happy they took their time, made the fixes, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this event. With all that being said, I'm going to start to wrap this up. As always, I want to take a moment and thank you all for your amazing support of this channel, and remind you, if you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please let me know and I will get back to you as quick as I can. On that note, I'm going to let the rest of the video play out. However, like I mentioned at the beginning of this thing, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well, but most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.
Agent, you've reached the reactor. I need you to get it back online. Now that you're in, we need to decrypt the safety protocols.
Warning, reactor unstable. Initiating lockdown procedures.
Good work decrypting the protocols. You need to remove those controls to get the reactor back online. Nice. Almost done. I need you to destroy whatever the hell that